Hiya guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and I'm back today with another review for you. I have to be honest, my reviews are backing up a little bit and I need to catch up. I've had a few things come in the post. Obviously I don't like to open them and stuff until they've been sat for a few days because of obvious reasons, and I know many of you are going to say in the comments, do this, do something else. It's just the way I do it. I just like to leave them for a few days and then I'll get them out. But I've got some beautiful stuff from Australia, from Jared at Bone Fragments, some 148th B1B stuff. So we'll be having a look at that. I've also got some new photo etch come from Scale the Titanic. I've got some car related stuff to show you as well, some aftermarket, which is absolutely stunning. But today I've got a review on some new products from Infini that I've got from Premium Hobbies. Ed from Premium Hobbies has sent them up. Premium Hobbies, if you don't know, they're a company based in the UK, down in Weston-super-Mare. They've now got a catalogue with all the different bits and pieces they do. Go and have a look at their website. There's also in here a full colour chart for the range of MRP paints, which is nice, which I hadn't noticed before. But we've got all the Infini cutting mats there. We've got the sanding sticks and everything here, and then we've got our the David 400 and everything, the David Union, which I've done a review on if you want to go back and have a look at that. We've got some different glues and stuff, a lot of Mr. Hobby products in here. We've got our liquid mask and setter and softer, and then we come over the page and we got Hallelujah, Mr. Surfacer, and all our lovely thinners. These are the, when you hear me talk about MCLT, Mr. Colour Leveling Thinners, this is them. Absolutely amazing. That's probably the best one to get, is that one there, the 400. It's 400 milliliters is what it means, but it's 1108 is, or T108 is that on the part number, and that's the one to get, I think, because of the size of the bottle. It's the most economical, and also it's the actual, you can get the rapid stuff which dries in no time, but that stuff is just amazing. And obviously you've got your Mr. Surfacers, all your different glues and everything. So yeah, I've just had a little order come in from Ed, so very nice indeed. You've got little cotton buds there, these cardboard stacking things for stacking your sprues in. And we've got splash paints, which he also does. And we've also got these Tankcraft Pro Modeler mats, which is what you can see here. They're also doing aircraft ones as well, even though they're called Tankcraft. So yeah, worth having a look on the Premium Hobbies website. So what I've got to look at today is a lot of reflectivity, I know. These are a new product from Infini, and they're the clear file three-way system, and they're basically clear files. Now, to me it all sounds a bit gimmicky, the fact that they're clear, which, you know, these days a lot of products do tend to be quite gimmicky, because let's face it, there's only so far you can go with abrasive products, you know, and you have to start, you know, innovating and making new things that maybe people won't really actually need, but it's just a selling point you've got. But these are clear, and apparently on the back they talk about the beauty is, if you work with a transparent clear file, you can work while checking that the sprue is removed, so you can actually see what it is you're sanding while you're sanding. I don't know. The big thing for me is you've got three grades in here. They've got medium, fine and super fine, which are very, very nice indeed. They are clear, so they're like basically acrylic. They're very rigid, very hard indeed, so they're going to be fantastic for sanding flat surfaces, but also they can be washed. So they can be washed with water and can be used semi-permanently. Now, I don't know what semi-permanently is. Semi-permanently is probably not permanently, so they're not going to last forever, of course they're not, but I think they're going to last a lot longer than the sanding stick. And what they appear to be is we've got the three here. I have had them out of the packet and have a look, but I haven't tried them at all. I just wanted to see what they were like. They're one-sided. The back side is completely smooth and glossy, as you can see there. But in fact, they might even be glass. They're probably not Perspex. They're actually glass, I think. So yeah, they are lovely. And as I say, they're only etched on one side. And if I show you close up, you can see there we've got the medium, fine and super fine. And if I show you close up, you can see you've got these areas of, I don't know if it's carbide or what it is on there, and they're basically they're the super fine is very fine. It's I don't know, I guess it's akin to like a 600 or an 800, but for a file that's fine. And then this one's kind of 400-ish, and this one feels kind of 220, 300-ish. So we're going to give them a go and we'll see what they're like. Now I'm not too worried if they clog up because they're washable, which is one of the big problems when you've got your sanding sticks like this. I mean, these are the Matadors and they're washable, but when they get clogged up like this, that's Mr. Surfacer in there, which is Mr. Surfacer's biggest downfall. It clogs things. But when you get that sort of thing, you can't really wash it out. Whereas with these, I think you could probably put them in red hot, well, not red hot, but very hot water, and give them a brush with a toothbrush or something, an old one, or, you know, use your mates or whatever, and give them a good clean. So we're going to see what they're like. I'll start off with the medium, which is the coarsest of the three. At the moment, as far as I know, these are the only ones they do. So the fact they've called this medium fine or super fine maybe allows them to go into a new world of you know, maybe coarser. So we'll start off with some plastic parts. These are the undercarriage legs for the wingtips on the B52 I'm doing. On the note of that, I'm actually working at the moment on spraying the camouflage on that B52, so I haven't left it and gone away. I am working on it, but obviously with it being Viejo paint, it takes a while to dry, so going backwards and forwards to that one. So I'll start off with the fine actually on this one, because we've got a little sprue nib on here. Now, as you can see on here, you can actually see, I'm going to stand up and show you what I'm doing through the camera, so you can actually see what you're doing. You can see that sprue nib through there, and you can see as we rub away, it's going to disappear. Now, this is where I don't understand the benefit of it being clear. Now I'm gonna come away from the camera and have a look with my own eyes, because it could be that when I'm looking through the camera. But look at the film. Let me just show you that. Bearing in mind that's the fine. Can you see there the gloss? Look how polished it's polished, that plastic. So let's see what the superfine does. So we're just going to rub this away and get rid of this centre seam. And yeah, it's actually polishing the plastic and making it shiny. It's incredible. That is quite incredible. But it is very nice to have something hard and solid in your hand, she said. And you know that it's not going to be, you know, leaving any round edges or anything, or although this is a round surface. But if you wanted to file something like on the end of here, if you wanted to file it flat, let's just take that bit of sprue there. Now if I this here, I want to file this flat. Okay, now I can see the benefit in the clear. I can see, while I'm sanding, I can see when the seam line disappears. However, saying that, when you come off it, you look at it anyway. So having the fact you can see through them maybe is a little gimmicky, but if you haven't already got into the habit like I have, coming off and looking and back on and looking, then maybe it's a benefit. Now let me take this one off of here. Look at the sink marks in there. That's bloody awful. Look at it. Terrible. And I'm going to come in here with I'm going to take that tab off of that nib off of there. I'll come in here with the medium. Now we've got a mould seam down there. Yeah, that is you can see how shiny it's leaving the plastic. It's actually filing it away. It's getting rid of that mould seam and flattening out. It's kind of, to give it to, I can't really show you, it's like this. It's got a mould seam in the middle. It's not just a simple, like a Tamiya type thin seam. It's actually a large chunk of plastic I'm removing on here, almost like a mismatch in the mould. But no, that is good, that's lovely. And then I've come in with the fine. Wow. I mean, if you just look at the finish you're getting on there, that is quite incredible. Try and get that so you can see it in the light. You see it's got a polished finish to it. So yeah, very nice indeed. I will definitely be using these going forward. Now for washing them, I'm not so sure. We'll have to, what I'll do is I'll come back after and let you know how I get on with washing them in a minute. But they have got some plastic deposited in them. Let's see what they're like at doing mould seams on circular. I've also got the smaller ones here. There's a smaller set, which is the small size, and these are large size. So there's going to be no medium size. It's just going to be the two sizes. So I'll come in with the fine, which is the middle of the road, and we'll see how this manages with getting rid of this mould seam. It's also worth noting we've got a very, very sharp corner on here, so it's going to be particularly good for getting into corners and stuff. So just using it to remove that sprue nib on there and get into that corner, and it's yeah, it's done a lovely job. Now you might want to come along and finish with a sponge. Now the proper way to file a round surface is like that. Everyone else does this. Okay, the proper way to do it is that. Almost like you're playing a violin. And again, you can see how it's polished, that plastic. It's shiny. Maybe you can't. It's yeah, really, really good. Great bit of kit. I'm really pleased with these. What I'm really looking forward to is, like on the Titanic, is where I've got to hog off some sprue goo. See how they manage with that? Just hold it flat on the surface and sand. The fact they're washable should make things really good. So so that's the plastic. This is a piece of resin. This is one of my B52 noses. No plug intended. But I want to see how it sounds with resin and if it clogs. So I've got my water. This is an old eye wash bottle here, and I find it fantastic for when I need a drop of water. And I'm just wetting this to cut down on the dust. So I'll use the medium on here. So we'll get some water on there. Sand across there. And it is making mincemeat of the resin. So obviously you would never dream of filing all this whole complete mould plug off of here, but if you're just cleaning up, somebody's going to buy this one and they'll know that this was the one being used in this example because that side's been taken down. But yeah, also the file is staying wet, which is nice, so that's keeping the dust down. You can see there's no dust flying around at all. And normally if I was using a sanding stick or a normal metal file, it would have all dried up by now and I'd be getting loads of dust. Now I'm starting to see bits down here, so just put another drop of water on there, literally a tiny drop, which is just run off. Yeah, I wonder what kind of finish we can get if we use the superfine. I wonder what kind of finish we can get on this resin. Just keep going like that. A paper towel. Got paint on here from the B52. And as you can, that's incredible. That I find quite incredible. I'm astounded, absolutely astounded. Look at this. If I can get it in focus, I can get it catch the light. Look how polished. You see this edge where I've sanded here. You can see how it's polished it. If I can get it to catch the light. There you go. You can see it in this area here. See how shiny it is? So yeah, if you're cleaning up parts and you want a good finish based, you know, nice finish for primer, then yeah, these are going to be the way to go. That's incredible. Very nice. Right, so we've done that. let me clean up. I'm going to go and wash these off in some warm water and see how good they clean up, so we can have a look now and see what they look like. Okay, these are the ones I've used on the resin, and then we got this here I've used on the plastic. There's a tiny bit on that one, there's nothing on that one. So there we go, there's the before. Okay, so I'm going to go now wash them and we'll see how they look. Okay, I'm back. This is literally a minute later. I've swilled them off in some cold water, rubbed them over with a nail brush, just 1 or 2 swipes, and as you can see, they have come up. They're completely and utterly cleaned out. There's no debris in them. No debris in that one, should I say. Let's just dry this off where I'm putting them down. Yeah, incredible. I must admit, some of the products I see these days are a little gimmicky. I think the fact that you can actually see through them while you're sanding is perhaps a bit gimmicky, but for newer modelers that haven't developed any habits yet, it may be a good thing. But I don't know how they'll get along when they change over to their favourite sanding sticks. But I must admit, they have come up like brand new, and you saw them, they had actual material in them, didn't they? Sorry guys, a little cough there. Yeah, they had material actually embedded in them, and it's just literally come out easily under a tap, some cold water. So if they did get them bound up with something, what you're seeing on there now is just dust from the paper towel. But yeah, very, very impressive. I'm just wondering if I could brush them off just to prove that that is just from the paper towel. Not sure. There we go. There we go. That's completely cleaned them now. So yeah, very impressive. So that is, well, they are, should I say, they are the Infini clear file 3-way system. We've got the large and the small. They're $24.95 for the 3. And don't forget, if you use my code NMB10, that's Nigel's Modelling Bench 10, you'll get 10% off of that, so that'll make them $22.50, won't it? So yeah, it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but when you want good tools, you've got to pay good money for them, unfortunately. But I think to work alongside the, you know, all the full range of Infini sanding sticks and pads and everything, I think they'll make a great addition, and I'm certainly very pleased that I've got them. They're going to become invaluable. Now, if you want to see these being used in anger, I will use them in all my future builds, or most of my future builds, shall I say, because they're not going to last forever. Nothing does. So yeah, if you want to see them used in anger, then keep an eye on my future builds. But that is absolutely astounding. I can't believe how it's polished, that resin. I can't believe it. How it's, you can see the reflectivity off that edge now. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So there we go, guys. And I just want to finish up with a tip, because at the time I bought these, I also got some Mr. Cement S from Ed, and this cement here. Now this is your alternative to Tamiya Extra Thin. Okay, now this is every modeler's favourite, but this one I enjoy. It's the same kind of thing. It's not really super hot. It doesn't go off particularly fast. They're very, very similar in the way they work. The reason I love this one so much is for big, heavy work. If you're gluing together some great big fuel tanks or some great big wheels or whatever, this one has got the much bigger brush. When you look inside at the size of the brush you get, okay, when you look at that, you can see the difference. Okay, so this one is, you know, you'll see me in my builds, I'm forever moaning that I don't get a lot of glue on the brush, and this one you get a lot of glue and you can really bang it in there. If you want to make up a nice wet sort of well glued, you know, pair of fuel tank halves or something like that, then it's great. But I have a little tip for newer modelers that the older modelers will know all about. when you get these glues, as you can see when they're brand new, in this one here, this Tamiya Extra Thin, you can't even see the top because it's so full up. Okay, the same with this one. You can see this one's full up all the way up to here, or almost to the neck. And the trouble with that is, particularly with the Tamiya, and I'm going to put a piece of paper towel down because I don't want to drop anything on this beautiful mat and damage it. But one of the biggest problems with that is, I don't know if you can see, but because it's going to evaporate quite quickly, but the whole stem is dripping wet. Okay, so if I put that in there, you can see we've got a great big puddle of glue. Come on, camera. There's a great big, it's dripped to the bottom now, that's the trouble, you're looking from the top. There's a great big puddle of glue under there. I'll put my finger on it and you'll see. Okay? And the problem with that is, that will be absolutely fine until that one day when you're putting a, you know, you've got your cockpit here, you've got a piece here, you're holding it there, and you come along with your Tamiya Extra Thin, okay, and you just go like that, and it drips, and you get a great big drip of glue on your freshly painted cockpit, and it wipes out all your paint. That's a big issue. So what I do when I get a new bottle of glue, okay, so I've got one here, this is a new bottle, okay, this one here, this is a new bottle. What I do is I take the glue, take some glue out and put it into the old bottle so that it's just up to the, just below the neck. So this one here, this is filled, you can see this one here, I don't know if you can see that, but this one here is filled about 6-8 millimeters from the top, from the neck there, and this one here is filled probably 4 or 5 millimeters from the top. And that way, when you take the glue, I mean, the trouble is I've shaken it all now, so what I'll do is I'll take it out and clean it off, just get rid of any excess. When the glue is on your bench and you take it out, you've only got glue on the bristles, okay, you haven't got glue all the way up that stem. And it's the same with this one. If you look on here, okay, if you look on this one, we've got buckets of glue all the way down here. You can see my finger's wet, okay, whereas if we look at this one, try not to shake it too much, the shaft is comparatively dry and it's only the bristles that have got the glue. So that's my little tip for the newer modelers out there. So there we go, guys, that has been tip time, and it's also been a review of these files, and I love them, they're great. So thanks for watching, keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews in the next couple of days. As I say, I've got some catching up to do. I've got B1B stuff, I've got car stuff, I've got Scale the Titanic stuff, and there was something else as well, I can't remember what it is, but there's some lots of reviews coming up. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.